Hi there, Darla Delane here, founder of She CEO, and today I want to talk about expect, being expectant or expecting something. I've got four main points for this that are really going to affect how you use this particular feeling, emotion, and action, right? The first one is that to expect or be expectant is a vital part of the process from decision making through to allowing. So when you make a decision to do something, you want it to happen, right? So we want to do everything we can to be sure that once we make that decision, it moves forward and we get what it is that we want. That's what we expect. However, a lot of times we make a decision and then we don't hook that expecting it in there. We hope, we wish, we're, optimistic, but this piece of expect is kind of around the second step in there, which is the knowing that it's happened, knowing that it is for you, knowing that this will be. So when you expect, you are saying to yourself, and in the way that your energy comes out, you're saying to Source, Universe, God, that you know that you've asked for this and you know it is given, so you expect for that to happen. And you're also very clear. So being expectant is a really awesome sign that you have complete clarity on this decision that you've made. And so now you made the decision, you know it's going to happen, and now you go through your steps to allowing that to happen. And in that process, you expect that it will. The other piece on this is unhooking the how. So you've decided you want something, you expect it to happen, but how, when, exactly, all the little details, you got to unhook that piece. If you will unhook that from it, you'll get that message through your inspiration. So like, you've made this decision, you know it's going to happen, you're ready to allow it, and because you're expecting it, you're really kind of eager about it, then you get inspired on what those little steps are that actually bring it to fruition. But this piece is vital. If you try to jump from deciding something to where is it, you kind of stopped the whole process. You've slowed it down and you kind of shut the door on it. So be aware of that particular piece. Secondly, you want to remove the meanings around what you expect. So when you expect something, you want to kind of unhook what it would mean if it did happen or if it didn't happen or how it happens. That's where you get yourself in trouble. As you decide it's going to mean something, then if it doesn't go exactly that way, now you're in this whole big piece of grief, basically, around that it didn't happen. And now you have to deal with that when it was just kind of a thing in your head and it didn't actually even occur. So it's like a huge time waster. It's I'm obsessed with efficiency and productivity. And so this piece of unhooking the meanings around what you expect is really one of the vital pieces to efficiency and productivity. Because if you expect it and you don't put any meaning on it, you know it's happening. If you put a meaning on it, like, I expect this to happen, and then when it does, that means I'm successful. Or if it doesn't, that means I'm unlovable. Or if it does, it means this. These meaning pieces slow the process down. They hook it up. They stop it from opening up and you allowing it. It also says to yourself that energy of expecting it to happen with it unhooked from the how is that you do have a hook in the how. And that it means something. Now you've got a double one in there. Now think of it as weights. You put the hook of how's it going to happen, and then you hook in it's going to mean something if it does or doesn't happen. And you've really weighted it down and made it much more difficult. So this little brain hack around your expectation and how you expect is one of those keys that can make it happen for you. I know there's some people that say, I don't have any expectations, so I won't be disappointed. That only happens if you've put some kind of meaning on it, that it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. And you do want the expectation because that says that you know it, but you don't want to have any meaning attached to it. And also, number 3, watch for negative expectations, a negative meaning that you've put on it. Normally, this could be something like an expectation of something in the past, because something in the past has happened. So you say, yes, I want this, I expect it to happen, and then your brain goes back to, yeah, but it never has. And so the things that have happened in the past slow down your expectation of it, because now you've got this meaning from the past that says it doesn't happen for you. And just because something hasn't happened in the past doesn't mean it can't happen now. Just because something did happen in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again now. And when we look back on those, when we add those thoughts, which our brain will do, when you add those thoughts in, then it just kind of slows the train down again. And it now you're going in the direction of, what you don't want rather than the direction of what you do want. We also have expectations that are fearful of the future. Like, what if this doesn't happen? Like, what's going to happen to me? This will happen and that. All this stuff on there that you don't even know if it's happening or not. So you've just added a whole lot of expectations that now have shifted your expectation. Think about this. When you put an expectation out there, I want this, I expect it to happen. Then you have a thought based on the past that causes you to have some upset or sad feelings because it never has happened before. Now what are you expecting? You're expecting it not to happen because it hasn't happened before. And all these awesome opportunities that were there just got shut down. And now guess what you get? Exactly what you expect. And if you are expecting it to be the way it was before, it probably will. Also, for the future, now you've got worry and concern that it may turn out in the future in some way. The future isn't even here right now. You now have shifted your expectations to what you actually wanted to some made up stuff in the future that's not good. And that's probably what's going to happen for you. So be super aware of, once you've made an expectation, what your brain does to protect you. It wants to protect you from being hurt again. It wants you to protect you from any future hurt. And so it will put thoughts in. A thought will come across from your brain trying to help you with this particular topic that you now have an expectation in. And so you are the one that has to be vigilant about what those thoughts are and cracking them apart if they're not something that you want, right? All right, and the last one is kind of a little more business related to this word expect. This has to do more with working with team or team members that you may have that you're working together, or people that you have that are on your team that are working all for the same business. If you have an expectation, there's a few things around that it's your responsibility to be clear on. Number one is being clear on what that expectation is, being very specific and detailed about what the expectation is, and then asking for understanding on that to get feedback. What is this that you think that I'm expecting? How do you think that this is supposed to go? So that you are sure that you've communicated in a very clear way. So very clear communication on your expectations. And secondly, to inspect what you expect. So if you did expect something to be done and done in a certain way, then be there to inspect along the way so that you can make those tweaks for someone just in case what you said wasn't clear, or they took it in a different way, or it didn't happen in the way that you expected. You can step in and make those adjustments without having to have it be a big negative thing. If you're inspecting what you expect along the way, then that is more supportive, and it makes everyone feel a little more secure in that communication. So, how does our expectations affect our business? Completely. It affects what you've decided on, whether you're going to let it be the way that you want it, whether you're going to add stuff on and have it turn out to be something you don't want, and it affects how you work with your team with your own personal expectations of what you want done for your business. So, until next time, this is Darla Delane, and I'll see you then.